Good morning, you guys. Welcome to the Zen Garden. I want to give you a quick tour of all that's blooming back here. There's a lot, some of which I may not know the variety off the top of my head, so I will put them all in the description below, just in case there's something that you want to know. And if I don't have it labeled on the video, I just want to give you complete information. So anyway, lots of changes back here. Bought that beautiful Buddha statue, and before anyone leaves me a comment like, why would you get a Buddha statue? I'm not like religious or anything. I bought it more for the aesthetic and the meditative, hey little birds. And the meditative aspect of it. I love yoga, and it's just something that I've wanted to put in this garden to kind of, give it more of that peaceful aesthetic. And I really love how he looks. He's so cool, right? So I've planted a lot more pots in here, and I'm loving the look. I really drilled down on pinks, whites, a little bit of purple tones, and I'm really happy with it. I love the way that it looks. So let's kind of go through some of the plants here. This is a dahlia that I'm growing in a pot, Virtuoso Pinkerific. Look at those gorgeous blooms. Wow, love these. So beautiful. I've also got a beautiful Angelonia in here. New to the garden, new to me, is that bougainvillea. Isn't it beautiful? I've never grown one before, but I saw it at the nursery when I was shopping for container plants, and it really struck me, and I thought it would look really pretty in this corner of the garden. So I underplanted it with a few geraniums, some diamond frost euphorbia, and I've got some sweet potato vines. The geraniums are just about to bloom again. I just deadheaded them, and as you can see, they've got quite a bit of buds on them. They're just not flowering right now. I'm also growing a bunch of elephant ears, colocasia. I've had these for years, and they keep multiplying. At the end of every growing season, I pull them out and put them in plastic nursery pots in some potting soil, and then I keep them in the basement until like February. I break them out and I start feeding them again. So I don't let them stay out here until the first frost. I bring them in beforehand so that I can save the bulbs. And they have been doing great. I have so many out here, and by doing that, they already are full and leaf out by the time it's like May, early June. So it's totally worth doing, especially since you can save a lot of money that way. I mean, to buy them full size like this would probably have cost me like 60 bucks around here. All right, so I also underplanted with some sweet alyssum. I love the aroma. Those snapdragons overseeded from last year, or I shouldn't say overseeded, reseeded from last year. I've got clowning around caladiums by Proven Winners. Love that pink foliage, it's gorgeous. Then I've got a couple other little goodies in here. I know I've got some bacopa, and gosh, the name is escaping me right now. I will put it all in the comments below. I've got some, this is a really pretty verbena, and I know I have the tag in here. So this one is Superbena Sparkling Rose, and it's gonna get like that variegated color to it. Look at how pretty it looks. Got some salvia, some mini vista supertunias, and some sweet potato vine. I really love the contrast in that pot. I've got some coleus over here and some fanflower. These are geraniums that I overwintered last year. I did the same thing that I did with the colocasia, and that works really well. They're doing amazing. I just kind of pull them out, put them in a nursery pot, keep them in a non-heated base in the basement. Not heated, but it's my basement, and they can survive. And so then I break them out in February, start feeding them with Osmocote, and then here we are a couple months later. So I have some caladiums in here, also clowning around, some sweet alyssum. Hey, Coda. And we've got some bacopa. These are like double flowering begonias. I saw these at the nursery and I thought they were so pretty. I thought they looked really nice, underplanted with the gorgeous foliage of that colocasia. I mean, look at that. Isn't that amazing? And this right here is coral reef Rocapoco impatiens. I love the double flowering varieties, and this one's really beautiful. I love the play on color between the foliage of some of these plants and the blooms. Really, really pretty. I've got some coleus again here, some bacopa with clowning around, peeking through there. I planted those caladium bulbs a little late, which is why they're a little slow to go. And then I want to show you my hostas in these gorgeous concrete planters. A little backstory about these planters. We found them on our property, right outside our fence. So I guess the former homeowners were using them at some point, maybe in the formal garden, and then just kind of pulled them and moved them and just never did anything with them again. Either way, they're beautiful, great find on the property, and my husband planted them up last year with these really pretty hostas that I'm probably going to take out this year in the fall, plant in the ground, and then I'll put something else in next year. But I like that we move them to the base of the steps because I just feel like it added a little bit more to the space. And I don't know if you guys remember, but last year we had those like circle discs. Again, those were something that we found on the property, and we just put them in temporarily so that my dogs could walk on the stone and get up there to the backyard. But I didn't love them. I didn't love the look. It was just really like a temporary, inexpensive way to kind of fix a problem for my dogs. So this year we actually bought stone to do a nice little path here, and I like how it came out. I mean, it looks really good with the stone on the wall, and it just really finishes off the space. So my irises here are done blooming. Look at the size of that elephant ear. Look at it. I mean, here's my hand. Okay, hand, like look at that. Look at how big it is. It's huge. Again, underplanted it with the same stuff in the other pot, the bacopa, the double flowering begonias, and the euphorbia, another geranium, and I had a little open space in there, so I tucked some some calabricoa in there as well. So this pot I should have, oh I do, see, clown around, it's starting to pop out. I wanted to underplant them with something so I didn't have bare pots, so I used snowflake bacopa in all of the planters and figured, you know, eventually the caladiums would pop through. And over here I've got apple blossom begonias, diamond frost euphorbia, and of course my gorgeous colocasia that I love. They do so well in here, just to kind of like give you a little glimpse, but they do so well in here. And I think it's because I have all of these containers on drip, so they're getting watered every day, because it's getting hot now and they need it. But they love it. They're really thriving. And I feel like since I stopped manually watering my planters, everything just does so much better. So if you don't have your containers on drip irrigation, trust me when I tell you, you need to, because it will be life-changing. I mean, the difference in the blooms and the lushness of my planters is it's just a huge difference. It just makes a huge difference. And also in terms of your time, because you're not standing there manually watering everything. So it's just easier. Drip irrigation on timers, I'm gonna link it in the description below in case you're interested in getting them. They're really easy to find kits, and I've got a few of them around the property. So I've also got another caladium over there with some bacopa. That is an aqua pot by Proven Winners. This is the only one that I don't have on drip irrigation, and it's because it has a self-watering reservoir and doesn't need it. I just fill the reservoir every like maybe 2 to 3 weeks, and the pot does the rest. Some more begonias that I found at the nursery. Really, really beautiful. Love that. I put a bunch of my houseplants under here, under this tree, because It's shaded for the most part. I know it doesn't look like it right now, but it's shaded. The foliage won't burn, and they're thriving. They're doing really well. And I only have so much room on my porches to maintain these, the houseplants. But the biggest change here that I want to show you guys is the pond garden, because look at all those beautiful pond plants. Atlantis Water Gardens came out here and showed me how to plant things up. I have no experience with pond gardening. I really don't know the plants. I have the tags, and I will again put that list in the description below for you guys because I don't know them offhand. But wow, what a difference a few pond plants make. I know we have a water lily right there. I've got some pickerel. There's a canna lily and some papyrus. I've got some sort of iris that can handle the water. I've got water hyacinths, and really, it just really made the pond come alive. I think moving forward, I would love to get some flowers going up and around that pond because I feel like I need a little bit more color in here. So maybe I'll tuck in some impatiens or begonias or something like that just to get a little more color up there in the rocks around the fall. But really, really beautiful. And for those of you that have been following me on other socials, you might remember that we lost our fish in the fall last year. We did replace them. You can't see them right now, but they are here. We have 5. They're really happy with the pond plants. I think ever since we put them in, they've just been thriving even more than when we got them. So they're loving that. I love the way that it looks. It's really pretty. Oh, there they are. And, you know, we're really happy with it. I like I said, I would love to do more with this space as time goes on, but I'm of the opinion that, you know, it takes a few years to like live in a space, learn it, learn the light conditions, see how things grow before you really dive in and, you know, do a whole bunch of stuff. So I've been working on other areas of the property and kind of wanted to get started on this one, and I am really, really happy with the progression. So last year we have a rhododendron that's just beyond the elderberry and a mountain laurel. They bloomed unbelievably last year, and this year not so much. So you know, I just feel like certain years plants, you know, will flower amazingly, and then other years they might be taking a break. So this might be their year on a break. This tree is a Japanese snowbell, and I think that one too. The first year we were here, it didn't flower at all. Last year, it was just covered in these beautiful white blooms. This year, there was a few, but not much. So again, maybe that one's like an every other year kind of blooming tree. Really, really pretty though. Elderberry black lace has been getting bigger and doing well. We did some pruning on the Japanese maple this year because it was really dripping into the pond. I don't love that I can see the piping, so I would really like to plant something there underneath it to kind of conceal that a little bit. But really loving how this whole garden is coming along. And finally, I've got my last container. I've got some snowflake bacopa, some sweet potato vine. I've got this gorgeous blush rose begonia by Proven Winners, some asparagus fern, diamond frost euphorbia, and I just really love how it kind of, if I'm sitting back here, I don't see, you know, the pool equipment as much, which is nice. And then I want to show you my last, so there was nothing planted here when we moved in. I've been digging, dividing, and adding plants as we go. But I do want to show you my little fat happy Buddha. We bought him when we bought the other statue. He's supposed to bring lots of joy and good luck, and I love him. I can see him from inside my family room, and he is pretty fabulous.